Well, I think I've gotten my passion for flowers from my mom and my dad. I remember going outside in the yard, picking flowers, bringing her bouquets of dandelions, bringing her bouquets cut from the 4-H camp, and having the discussion about how you don't pick someone else's flowers. And so every year I get my mom some kind of either flower that I send to her from a florist, or my sister usually gets her hanging baskets. So she gets a full array of bright colors and beautiful blossoms.
I'm due in 2 weeks, and my mom's been really good with giving me advice.
My mom was a wonderful person, and I always remember her being able to do anything that needed to be done.
Oh, my mom always helped me when I had my greenhouses for 19 years. She was a big help during the holidays, like Mother's Day. And basically, her Mother's Day was working to get us through the holiday. And then we usually went out to eat or something afterwards, because she didn't want no flowers.
My mother was a wonderful person. She never had an unkind word to say about anybody. Anything that I ever wanted growing up, we didn't have much. But if I wanted something, she would try to get it for me.
I just wanted to say that my mom is extremely helpful and supportive, and she's always there to watch her grandkids.
I think one of the things that's interesting about my mom is that she was an only child, whereas in contrast my dad was one of 14. So she grew up with a different perspective of that there were no playmates, so she lived on a farm and she played with the farm animals, and they raised hogs, and her father was a farmer, and he had a draft horse, and my mother loved that draft horse and used to ride her. Her name was Belle. So I think that began her love of horses. And of course, as we grew up as kids, we also had a horse which we loved. And to this day, the Kentucky Derby was one of our favorite things that we used to share, and we still watch that today all together.
My mom was a very wonderful person. She taught me how to be strong, go after my dreams, not give up on anything.
Mom, well, she's always somebody I can go to who offers sage advice. But what I remember most as kids, like you would remember, is going out on toad hunts. Because that's her thing. She likes to bring toads back to the property so they can flourish, because she likes the sound of them, and it's her animal totem. So we used to go out and pile in the van and stop in the middle of the road, and we'd see one when it rains and jump out and grab them and rescue them, so we think, and then bring them back to the property and set them free. So there's many more special memories, but that's the one that always sticks out to me.
Well, one of the fondest memories of my mom is planning my wedding. She made so much of the stuff on her own, and she really put a lot of time into it. So that was nice.
I really enjoy working with my mom here at the flower shop, which I get to work with my sister and my dad too, but it's really nice to see my mom on a daily basis, and I live next door to her, so I should be able to see her daily, but I don't always get to. But I know that when I come to work, I'll definitely get to see her then, and it's nice to see her, and you know, there's always something going on in life, and she's there to talk to whenever I need to, and how many people can say that?
Yeah, I love how my mom's always putting everybody else first. She never takes time to do something for herself, so Mother's Day will be a nice time to do something for her.
My mom's awesome. She is the most wonderful woman in my life, period.
Had lots of motherly influences in my life. One being your grandma, Betty Gillespie. She, I want to get teary-eyed here. She was so kind to me and so respectful. She just made me feel like I was part of her family. But also, a memory for me as a mother, my oldest son would buy funny cards or make cards for me up until he was about 12, 13 years old, and he bought me a serious card. And of course I bawled like a baby, so it was wonderful. But along with the other motherly influences, I did. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child, and I was one of those fortunate people that had a lot of women that took care of me and taught me.